Martin, North Korea was already one of the most isolated countries in the world. But with its latest actions, it now appears to have committed itself to solitary confinement. It was 9:54 in the morning local time when seismologists in South Korea, Russia and the US detected shockwaves from a minor earthquake in North Korea. The epicenter was in the northeast of the country. Shortly afterwards, the official news agency KCNA announced that North Korea had carried out an underground nuclear test to bolster the country's nuclear deterrent for self-defense. The test, it said, was even stronger than its first nuclear test in October 2006. In addition, North Korea fired 3 short-range ballistic missiles into the ocean off its east coast. The international reaction was strong. President Obama, who was told about the blast shortly before midnight in Washington, was forceful.
As a result, North Korea is not only deepening its own isolation, it's also inviting stronger international pressure.
Obama said the US could call for tighter sanctions on North Korea, but he acknowledged that in the past, sanctions had had little effect on the communist state's behavior. In Japan, which is within easy missile range from North Korea, Prime Minister Taro Aso said the blast was a clear violation of UN Security Council resolutions. We will not tolerate such activity, he said. Perhaps most significant was the reaction from China, the one remaining ally North Korea has. A statement from the Foreign Ministry in Beijing said the Chinese government was absolutely opposed to the test. The issue has now been taken up by the United Nations Security Council, which met in an emergency session in New York today.
What we heard today was swift, clear, unequivocal condemnation and opposition to what occurred.
The nuclear test was not entirely unexpected. Last month, North Korea test-fired a long-range ballistic missile which was harshly criticized by the UN Security Council and led to the cut-off of all aid shipments. In response, Pyongyang indicated it would push ahead with its controversial nuclear program. But the timing of the test appears to have been governed by 2 separate calculations in the mind of Kim Jong-il, the reclusive leader of the nation of 23 million people. Kim, who is 67, suffered a stroke last year and is widely thought to be in failing health. He would like to choose his own successor, very possibly one of his sons. But to do that, he needs the support of the military, and pushing the nuclear program may be a way of ensuring their loyalty. At the same time, Kim has an external agenda to blackmail the international community into giving his impoverished country fuel and food. In the past, it has worked. Each time Pyongyang raised the nuclear threat level, the US and its allies made concessions to the regime in the hope that it might reverse its development of nuclear weapons. Donald Gregg, a former US ambassador to South Korea, says there is still room for diplomacy with North Korea, but only if Pyongyang realizes it cannot negotiate with the threat of nuclear weapons in its back pocket.
The key to getting something going with North Korea is a higher level message from the United States to Pyongyang saying, we take you seriously, we want a relationship with you, we do not intend to attack you, but we're not going to start talking to you in the face of provocations.
North Korea has become accustomed to using scare tactics to get what it wants, but with even its closest ally, China, becoming tired of this nuclear blackmail, this time the Hermit Kingdom may just have pushed the international community too far.